I welcome you once again, my viewers all over the world. My name is Apostle Elder FESTUS ENOBAKHARE IGBINOSUN, the Oluwo of Obara-Yoka Temple. Today, I will be talking about Odu Osa Meji, rather also known as Ora Meji, Osoronga, which is taking number 10 in IFA. Is taking Odu number 10 in IFA. This is the spirit of Osa Oya. It is the manifestation of a sudden, unexpected change. Osa is the influence of outside factors that destroy a particular form. This is Osa. Symbolically, Osa is associated with thunderstorms, euronics, volcanoes, and those destructive forces in nature that transform everything in their wake. As a force of nature, this is Osa, has a cleansing transformation effort or effect. In personal terms, Osa Meji can represent a drastic change that leads to abundance, taking you from poverty to abundance. Is an open road. The negative terms, Osa can represent someone who is constantly running away from his or her responsibilities, which can lead to various forms of mental illness. The keynotes, Osa creates radical change in circumstances. Ifa advises Orunmila to make Ebo before starting the journey. Orunmila made Ebo. Orunmila offered gin to those who were traveling with him. When they finished drinking, they looked into each other's faces and said, "The man we wanted to harm has offered us a gin." What this Odu is talking about, that it's necessary for us to make sacrifice. No, that way, they all said they no longer wanted to harm Orunmila. From that day on, Orunmila was unharmed. Ifa says that the person that is carrying this Odu IFA OSA MEJI, that is going to really work or stay with people in the lagoon, in the riverine side, is going to stay or walk in the riverine side. Is going to be a traveler. The person that this Odu is carrying this Odu as their patron Odu. The Orunmila said that this person, you have seen this person that is going to be ahead. He's going to be a head of a company, a head of a job, and he's going to work with a foreigner, a stranger. He's going to work with a foreigner or a stranger, that he should take that job, that job will be very good for him. He's going to live on a riverine side where there is going to be a breeze. You understand? When this Ifa comes out for initiation for this person, Ifa says that this person has a lot of enemy. When this Odu comes out for initiation, like in Ubudu, the person should be told that he has a lot of enemies that they want to harm him. But if he makes sacrifice, that is going to overcome his enemy. Ifa says that this person should offer 2 bottles of gin. One should be given to his person's enemy. Only Yawere, Anyeva, Ojopa Yawere, then your part to boy, or your part to boy, Oyawe, Eriwoya. These are the nature of sacrifice you need to do to overcome his enemy. Osa has a cleansing transformation effect. In personal terms, one can represent a drastic change that leads to abundance. In negative terms, one can represent someone who is constantly running away from his or her responsibilities, and this can lead to what are mental illness. So in Osa Meji, Ifa also speak about Osa Meji acting. Attack is the best form of defense. In Osa Meji, I expect us to understand that attack is the best form of defense. Osa on the right and Osa on the left. This Odu is the Odu of Iyami Osoronga. Iyami Eleye or witches. The story goes that the leadership of the Yoruba was dispatched by Olodumare with Ogun, Obaitala, and all other divinities was asked to come to this very Mother Earth. So when they were not coming now, what happened? Ogun to Bola on Zese, Orunmila on Zese, Yenu Yafefala on Zese, Lawe and Diagbon, and I walk palo to boy. Ìyẹn àfíà Zese not to boy, ní ajé Ukpon Ẹ̀kún ọwọ́ bíyẹn yà Zese, náà yóò pọ́n wọn yà Zese. Abẹ́rẹ́ yẹn ní ẹ̀kẹ́rẹ́ fẹ́rẹ́fẹ́ ní o tún ní kẹ́fẹ́fẹ́ yẹn náà Zese, náà yóò pín yà Zese. Ọ̀yẹ́ tó ṣe ègbé Orunmila Osa Meji to boy Osa Meji. Ozese sukpon majukpon ya zese. So yẹn lọ pa ayé àdìagbọn yẹn ṣàgbọn náà yẹn ṣe ewé yẹn ṣàpúgbé ìgbàgbọn yẹn ṣàgbọn alámẹwò pẹzẹ lọpọ à ọ̀rọ̀ ọdàkálà làgbọn sọpá èkìlàkálà làgbọn tó bọ ẹ arú ọpá kíkà ẹmẹtì mu arú ìfà àmọ́ wà owó ẹyẹ mi gbá ó gbé méjì yìí ṣèwà tó bọ ẹ alámẹwò ẹ ṣèwà náà ní ẹgbẹ iyamiye sọ̀rọ̀ gan òkú ẹnà ọbànúà mọsíníkẹt nínú báwọn wọn láti bá de onígbẹ onífíẹ tó bọ ọlọwẹ àníyáwó yóò bọ ní ẹnu dáwẹ yẹn ò ní adí àgbọn náà ọgbẹ bìjì náà tàmẹgbẹ yẹn àti ewu yóò bọ lọ èso pán ukpọ ní yẹn àti ìyàmú ẹwòwò yàwó yóò bá nù ẹ yẹn àìsẹ sínú kíkpa lẹ́yìn yẹn rọ pa bẹgẹ tí yẹn bá nù à ọgbẹ méjì bá tún pẹ sí ìwú yóò bọ lọ yẹn kú gbàmẹ tí yóò bọ lọ adé ojúri kẹyà o àwọn ọdún ọ síkì ní gbọ Osa Meji. Osa Meji sèwani ẹ ujere we Osa Meji máa ń pọn ya zẹsẹ Osa Meji yẹ pọn ọ yẹ wù ara nẹgbẹ ìyá mi yẹ sọ̀rọ̀ gan tó bọ ẹgbẹ nínú ìfẹ́ yẹn ní Osa Meji láwùwọ Osa Meji láwùwọ yìí ọlọ́ba náà mẹ Osa Meji náà wọ màrí náà ní ayé yẹn tí ìjù pọ̀ náà àmọ́ èwo olùdáwẹ espèsì náà kékeré hálàlà ẹbí ti gbọ́ àrò ìfà ọ̀pá sọpọ́n ìyẹn àwùjọ bọ̀ nánú ẹ Osa Meji náà wọ màrí náà yẹ ní Osa Meji lánàá ẹgbẹ náà wà mú yẹn ìwé ko ọmú yẹn ìwé ko yàgbèrè yẹn aságbọ̀n yẹn àtúrẹ́ Osa Meji náà gẹ̀lẹ́ kò yọ ẹ ọ̀nà Osa Meji ọ̀gẹ̀lẹ̀ kò yọ ẹ náà ìyàmìyẹ náà la ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀la ọ̀nù ọ̀la ẹ̀rọ ọlọ́ta ìwé ko rẹ Osa Meji ọ̀nà Osa Meji ọ̀nà ìpa ọ̀nà ìlà ọ̀nà ìsagbọ̀n ẹ̀yìn sagbọ̀n ní ètò bọ́lá ìtàmì Osa Meji ọ̀wọ́ yẹn sẹ́ agbọ̀n ní Osa Meji náà ládìá ọ̀nà Osa Meji náà ládìá ìyàmìyẹ sọ̀rọ̀ ńlá gẹ̀rẹ́ bí agbáta agbáve Osa Meji náà tẹ̀lé wẹ́n ní ayé ẹgbẹ́ Osa Meji wẹ́n dẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀pọ̀ gbẹ́rù dáwọ́ eke yẹn náà wà mà yẹn eke nìyẹn yẹn náà wà ń fún yẹn gbére Osa Meji náà wẹ́ o wẹ́n yẹn yẹn láwọ̀ náà pápátá náà nìyẹn ọlọ́wọ́ màá ní ayé gbòwó òwe lájà nìyẹn òun àbí agbègbè ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn yẹn Osa Meji yẹn kí èrè báyìí yẹn dẹ̀ òkè yẹn fi dé gbò ẹ̀ Osa Meji sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ bọ́dà náà pèpè gbé inú dáwọ́ ibi ẹ̀ nìyẹn nìyẹn náà kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kókó dù ọkọ̀ Osa Meji láti bọ̀ rẹ̀ ọ̀nà ìlà ènìyàn wáyé ọ̀nà ènìyàn wáyé lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ disturbing bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ òkè problem mi lọ. ní Osa Meji kẹ́lẹ́ ẹ̀ ìyá mi sọ àárí ẹ̀ ọ̀sọ́ àárí ẹ̀ ibi ọ̀gẹ́ náà sọ abalẹ̀ kúrò sọ abalẹ̀ ìyẹn wọn ni Osa Meji rẹ̀ mú pilẹ̀ làdíà. ọ̀nà ìlú Orunmila ni ẹ̀ ẹ̀hún náà bí wẹ́ òpè Osa Meji máa ń pọ̀ gbọ́ iyami yosoro ba egba yẹn gbogbo náà ma egba yẹn adamdegbe Ora Meji Ora Meji dẹ̀ náà wọ́n zẹ́gẹ́ yọjọ́ ẹgbẹ́ àṣẹṣe lọ́sẹ̀ṣe ibi ọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ the testant náà lé gẹ́gẹ́gẹ́gẹ́ òtí sẹ́ẹ̀lì náà mẹ́wẹ́ náà rí iyami yosoro gan tó bọ̀ ẹ̀ tàbí yosoro ẹgbẹ́ yẹn pípẹ́ ìbáyé náà yẹn náà láwùwọ́ náà tó lórí ìbáyé Ora Meji gẹ̀lẹ́ tó gbọ́ ọ̀ní iyami yẹ ọ̀gbẹ́ ìbẹ̀gẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ dẹ́fẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ ìbáyé gẹ̀lẹ́ sent ọ̀gẹ́lẹ̀ send wẹ́ ọ̀nà ìkìnnú ẹ̀làdìyàn ìrìyàmíyé Osoronga yá ìlàdìyàn ìkìnnìgbẹ́ ìwẹ́kọ̀ rẹ̀ Ora Meji. ìkìnnìyàmíyé náà rí ẹ̀rọ lánìyàn Ora Meji náà ilẹ̀ Ora Meji ilẹ̀ tó bọ̀ ẹ́ nínú lẹ́kìn àtò bọ̀ ẹ́ ní àṣẹ ìyàmíyé kèrè báyìí fún lánìyàn Ora Meji ọ̀sàgbọ̀nẹ̀ ọ̀lẹ́fọ̀ àná ọ̀lẹ́fẹ́ àná ìdíyẹ̀gbẹ́ àṣẹ ọ̀nìyàṣẹ no Ora Meji oyamiye Osoronga kedere pa osasa la to boy na zentuna yen igwalo Osa Meji yekia so to la adinoma oma mi we onwa no to na we azeno azen this person has a relationship, a connection with witchcraft, but that person is not initiated directly to the court of the witches, but he has a connection with the witchcraft. That is Ora Meji. The mother can be a witch, the wife can be a witch, the people that surround him can be a witch, but Ora Meji is never a witch. But is the association. He said, show me your friend, I will tell you whom you are. That is exactly what Ora Meji is making us to understand. So Ora Meji is making us to understand to quickly fight back. We should quickly fight back. We should quickly fight back. You understand? Whatever situation that is he or she is facing, we quickly fight back. If you look at it, when these divination or divinities were coming to this very manner earth, when they were asked by Olodumare to come and discover this earth, so the woman deity, which is Osun, woman deity, out of all, he now complained to Olodumare God that he has no power of his own. Like Obu has his own power, Shango has his own power, Orunmila has his own power, but his personal self, which is Iyamiye, has no power of his own. So God now gave the Iyamiye Osoronga the power of I. And this power of I is the power of bird, which is Eye. Eye, Iyamiye, which is Eye, the power of bird. This bird, the power of bird, and this bird or Eye, and God now pronounced that in any association or committee that when a woman is not allowed to be a member, that committee will never stand. So for a community to stand, there must be a presence of a woman. That is why in Yoruba land, the Oba today has their staff carry a symbol of Eye, which is bird. That is the position of Iyamiye Osoronga. So when this Odu comes out, one shouldn't be much afraid, because when we talk about witchcraft today, people are much afraid of witchcraft. But you should also understand that witchcraft on its own is a body of its own. If you look at it now, there is no amount of charm that one can use to avoid the power of witchcraft. Let us see to this scenario. Now the story between the witchcraft and human being. Azen ve evanagbo. Ariagbegbe. Ovanagbo oriye abe orazen. Ovanagbo kekazen to boy. Iyan ariagbon. Iyan re. Uloko otie azen. Eno. Oloko na we obiro ni yaye iyan ki an gwe agbodia. Iyan ya muja iwe gbo. Osera mi uloko iwe gbo. Iyamiye only azen to boy. Ona live with Ovanagbo. Ona biomokpa. Biomokpa. Ovanagbo mo gbigbe. Ona itamu Ovanagbo logo mari yaye to boy ni. Abiti aro wa le yo amare dueki. Ovanagbo logo ma. Nino ri yaye. Iyan to bi iyan gas we ki ba ku iyan je ki. We to ta we wa ze to we gbe gba ogobo iyan keki bere we bi jo we logo ma. So ga Ovanagbo pa ona ri ki ona so ye ebigbe ona si na ze keki ye iyan arowa. Ona je ki ona dori Europe ma wi ye ni. Se la ze ke to boy a je ki to boy la ni ona so wi opa pon pa ke to boy ona si ai na ze no mi kira gba oge ye ga ri ki ai do mi we ije mo na to logo ma ye ga ye ze ya sa me na mi kira rowa no kere ni ibi Ovanagbo to boy ye na ga ga wi azen ye na wa ya mi no ye na gbe na toy Iyase na ihun be kiwa isen na give wa if sunu wa egrese wa legele agbo bi ere ne azena tukba ba ona impo loko esi loka bi loko lawo loko give na Ovanagbo win ye o loko lawo ma we no ri aye gbe azen our Ovanagbo cast win sun ariye e mo na se bie ona wo ma we ke ba e agbele bi Ovanagbo o si egbe oloko azegbe Oman local dege evanu local be wazena team up the offer agreement where kebabla pa ye ga gbele ibi Ovanagbo if don lare dikin wa do go ene to boy do mi go definitely where the Ovanagbo to boy be Ovanagbo kazen ariabe wa me we Ovanagbo to boy in ariabe azen so ye Odu Ora Meji igwankan. So the same issue, Wadobiwe Ora Meji to boy is taking the 10th position of Odu of Orunmila. So when this Odu is being cast in divination, the 16 deity were asked to make sacrifice, which I've just given the story. They were made to ask sacrifice right from Meji, so that they can be able to come to this mother earth. How Ora Meji brought the witchcraft to this mother earth. So Osa Meji in a spirit world, it speaks black magic. Ora Meji or Osa Meji, it speaks black magic. When this Odu goes out in divination for a client, he is told that he has enemies who are planning to harm him. If the client makes sacrifice to Shango, he will have great strength and will defeat his enemy. Those ruled by Osa Meji tend to lose control of life. It makes a lot of effort for them to focus on what they are doing and when it comes to their work. So as Osa Meji, one of those things that you need to really attend to is your head. Your head is very vital in this very Odu. Your head is very vital. Shango is very vital. Esun, very vital. Ogun. Even there are some people who have this Odu as their petrol Odu. What I advise you that mu Shango where you do, is Shango where Eki Shango ni mu Shango where you do. Ora Meji awa denu and Ora Meji don Olajano Ubodu. Isango where make sure you finish it. No many mwe genyo do. Isango na kakabo ya konkolu that way area kabo ibun lelewe. You understand? So the same thing now. Umwe say is very important. Well, when we say everything will be very much okay with you. And I know Azenia, ya ni, ya liwe guan, ya le ogwa ya lulu guan. So to go leki awe guan only sound. I make these are organs they use. You manipulate. These are the areas I want us to also understand. This Odu Osa Meji reveals one of the many funeral ceremonies called a tutu. For a man who is the son of Shango, who dedicates himself to a religious ceremony, he will perform his activities frequently and successfully, since his religious knowledge will be put to test. Yes, because Obo Nahin to boy, whatever thing you are doing, when Osa Meji has come for you, he has come out for you, always understand you are bound to be tested. You are going to face trials. A lot of tests is on the way. But what you need to do is to attend to Shango. Shango will surely give you victory. Shango will surely give you victory. And we should also ask Orunmila what Orunmila demands from you. When Orunmila prescribes exactly what he actually needs from you, I tell you, you are really going to have victory over what is on board. So the same thing is this. You must not be stubborn. You must not be stubborn when this Odu comes out. You must not be stubborn when this Odu comes out. And more so, you should try as much possible not to be in a hurry on how to get married. When Odu of Osa Meji comes out, you have to be very careful in the dealings of women. The dealings of women, even to your mother. Dealings of women, that is Osa Meji or Meji. So in terms of your marriage, you need to be very careful. You need to slow it down. You need to slow it down so that you can have the rightful woman. Because if you are in a rush, you are not going to get it. So in Osa Meji, in Osobo, which is Ayego, the children of this Odu, Osa Meji in Ayego, you know, as I've said, in every Odu, there is positive, there are negative. This Iri and Ayego. In Ayego, in Ora Meji, he likes to mingle in other people's affairs. They event things out of the ordinary. They are like the winds. They have everything and lose everything. They are spiritualists, arrogant. They believe that they are always right. They do not hear advice. They are imperative and dominant, and he likes to be followed by nothing but them, but they are self-sufficient, unruly, and given to tragedy. When this Odu comes out as Osobo, which is, or that is Ayego, or for death, you must sacrifice goats, a hen, and a rabbit. These are sacrifice, special sacrifice when Ora Meji comes out for someone in divination, and it happens to be Ayego, and that Ayego is speaking that he has foreseen death, Eku, death, Ubu, in new wu. Ana mi na so to bo wa via for by the say pere oro wa hu para. Oro be la gwa kanenia. Ora Meji is talking about you are surrounded by witchcraft, and you understand that human being has killed the child of a witchcraft. The human being has acted. So the witches must always defend back. When this Odu comes out, the person should be told that he has a lot of enemy, and this enemy are witchcraft. They want to harm me with witchcraft. So when it happens that the Ora Meji, the Odu that comes out, and it happens to speak Ayewu, which is the negative side, ask the Ayewu, which type of Ayewu? Is it poverty? If it is sickness, that sickness, is it going to lead to death? If it says death, you sacrifice need to be done. Osa Meji in Ire, that is in the positive term. Sacrifice a he-goat. You have to sacrifice goat so that you can succeed in a test where your knowledge and skill will be mentioned. Do not rush to find a partner or get married because all these things are going to be confusion to you. That is what this Odu is talking about. The keynote again in Osa Meji, when this Odu Osa Meji appears in Okpele, when he appears in Okpele or Ike, or in ordinarily divination, in normal ordinary divination like Oseifa, ordinary divination, or ordinary or daily consultation, when Ora Meji call out on a daily or just daily consultation or ordinarily. The clergy should be advised for a woman. You will be told that after having several children, you will give birth to Abino, who will command respect for each and every one. When this Odu of Ifa Osa Meji is represented at the initiation, that is at Ubodu, the initiate must be told that he has started as an Ifa priest, but we have problems with witchcraft. So he will have to make sacrifice. He has to make sacrifice immediately so that he can be able to overcome the power of sacrifice. So when this Odu is your Odu and you have any challenges on this Odu or Ora Meji, I want you to feel free. Contact me immediately. My telephone number is 070-311-54906 or 080-567-43599. Contact me, make comment, ask me question on this Odu. If this Odu is your patron Odu or Ora Meji or Osa Meji, and you are facing challenges, you are having difficulties, let me know. Contact me so that I will tell you what to do. So that make that time away. Divination ya zobo na mwe Ora Meji ubena kuku negi ange. Itama odi ya evnu wa keke no eni ya fefe no na mwe yana make that zobo no. Itama we. Bigwe umwe yana to boy na o adene ona lajelo ma wugbodu. You have to beware of the children of Meji. So, the children of Meji, you need to be very beware of this type of people because more so people of Ugboni fatality, you have to try as much possible to avoid yourself not to have any dealing with people of Ugboni fatality or of Meji. And the rest of Meji, you are not, as they are your worst enemies. So take notice, when you are carrying Ora Meji, which is Osa Meji, as your patron Odu, any of these Odu, any of these persons that have this Odu, either of Meji or Irete Meji, they are your enemies. Know it already. You have to be very careful with these people that carry this Odu of Meji and Irete Meji. So these are your enemy, even those people that are Ugboni fatality. They are your bitter enemy. You understand? Even up to that very extent, you have to make sacrifice so that your wife shouldn't betray you. This is Ora Meji. Your wife shouldn't betray you. So the problem of threat in this very Odu, you have to make sacrifice. Only sacrifice is only thing that is going to speak for you. When you are able to make sacrifice, I tell you, you will always overcome. The people that carry this Odu, Remember, when Ora Meji comes out for a divination, you have to make feast for the night to serve the elders of the night. That is the 82, which is normally. There are people making mistake on this very area. After making this 82, the next morning or the next day, the 82 is still there, either in the junction or wherever. You should understand that that it did not work. How can you give food for a dining for someone that knows that this is food? The next time you are going there, the plate is still very much filled up and it's not empty. It is when it's empty you can understand that the owner of that food has consumed it. So I want to clear this area. For those who are putting it to, you have to make it to the elders of the Yamiye or the elder of the night. The first thing will get whatever thing you are using, either a native pot or other thing. You have to cleanse that native pot with a gin. Ukayanyo yakbe, uwawani awayanyo kbe wakaya ukyabe kakbene. Waya make bugeka udu sanyo yo gin uyakbe wakbe eso obaisoro. Riaza, you can also do that, or it is not necessary. But you know, very, very necessary. So if you know no ye wani to boy who do know no here why no ne ya fefe. If you know will really you know who you can yo. And I'm not finishing to boy we don't know who wana eva na dikukuna mwini. Iyamiye wana munia basona na namye wesira make na wa no ometi wiyeri ada ometi we etukunyeri ometi we zegede ometi ka gbe ye pa owa wedare ometi wiye ko wo we kana azeka na munani awa no we tutu that is ipade na wa so ya muwe awa no kina wana wa you have to be patient when you are doing this. Don't be in a hurry. Find out those things that the night demand from you, whether they are complete. If you miss one thing, maybe okay, uzume yo umema de battle boy is anima way. If I say what is that so? You was on. I wouldn't was on to boy. Who surprise way? Who was the sassoni? Oya muipade de likba umema de ba anumena ani de. Wago figbo ma se. Besoro awo we so figbo yo. Ipade de la manido figbo. Or a manido figbo. So, okay, can I know? You have to ask for these are the areas I'm telling people. You have to come. Those people that are hearing my voice, contact, because knowledge has no limitation. You always practice. You always learn. You have to retrain. So you come to our temple so that we can now educate you on how to go about Ifa religion, on how to make a practical sacrifice. These are what we are talking about. Not just making sacrifice, and sacrifice is not speaking, it's not manifesting. No, you have to understand it to the later. So if you look at it now in Ora Meji, after finishing all these things, remember that marking of Ora Meji, 2 up, 1 down, which is Ora Meji, which is Osa Meji. You have to now speak on it by remembering the Yami Osoronga, the covenant, the agreement he made with Orunmila that fateful day when Orunmila rescued her from the hands of death. That he now made an agreement with Orunmila that from that day onwards, that none of the children of Orunmila that has any problem with Iyamiye, which are the witchcraft, the moment they give them, they serve them this nature of food, they will know that it is Orunmila, child or children that is offering this very something. So whatever thing that the children of Orunmila is asking for, the night will always agree to it. As you make this 82, always try to make these prayer points. The condition will remind you that the offering belonging to Orunmila, and that you must remember the oath that you administered to your mother that fateful day, which is Yami Osoronga, which saved her. Orunmila saved her from all the hands of death. This offering, which must be made by the children of Odu Osa Meji. This sacrifice is very necessary. When you make sacrifice, and that sacrifice you want to put a tutu or ikpadede, Ora Meji is very, very important to come in. that mark is very important to come in. Always find out what you need to do in order for these things to really speak for you. Another keynote again, Ifa advises from this Odu Osa Meji, through this Odu of Ifa, they face surprising changes, both at work and in a personal relationship. Osa Meji emphasizes the need for spiritual help against bad dreams and sleeping witches. Appropriate sacrifice must be made to appease the witches and ensure the necessary protections. The Ifa priest of this sign should not eat food cooked by anyone. That is a food that is brought for him outside. He should put it on his own. Any food that comes from outside, ask if it has something bad to turn against whoever that want to do him